Most men won't admit it, but deep down, they don't feel like they're enough. And it doesn't really matter how successful they are. There's this quiet shame that sits underneath it all. And so to heal this, we've got to really think about, where did this start? Where did it come from? And so almost always this is based in our childhood, right? These early signs that we're given, that we're unlovable, that we're not worthy, that we need to show up as a different man. These come from things like only being praised when we performed or achieved or even behaved. Like, we're told to toughen up as a kid, not to open up, not to feel, not to express ourselves. So from that, we learn early on that emotions, they equal rejection, and failure equals punishment. So we end up being or feeling invisible, because unless we're being useful, then who are we? Now, this is all conditioned through the schools, right? We go to these schools and we're taught to obey. The society that we exist in, it teaches us to hustle, to fucking grind. And then we jump on social media and all we're doing is comparing ourselves to other people that are only showing the best versions of themselves. No one taught us how to just be a man grounded in who the fuck we are. And so we internalize these beliefs. I must prove my worth. If I show weakness, I'll lose respect. If I don't keep succeeding, they'll stop loving me. If something's wrong with me, but I can't show it. These impact every single part of our life, every single aspect, right? From our relationships to ourselves, to our relationships with our partners, how we show up with our kids if we've got them. All of it impacts this. And so in our relationships, we either go passive to avoid conflict, and then we just feel disrespected, or we struggle to open up, not because we don't want to, but because we were never actually shown how to do that. And then when we get rejected, we take this as confirmation. See, I'm not enough. There's this internal critic, this inner critic, and these shame loops that exist within ourselves. It's, those voices inside our heads telling us, you should be further ahead, you should be doing more, you should be achieving more. And then we end up comparing ourselves, we spiral, and then we hide it behind this control, this humor, or the bravado mask that we put in. And so, as I'm sure that many of you have experienced this, or are currently experiencing this, what we need to think about is, well, how the fuck do we heal it, right? Because the idea here is, you're not broken. You're just carrying a belief that was never truly yours to begin with. And that's what I want you to really consider. That all of these beliefs, they're not actually yours. So to actually start healing from this, the step one is first admit it. I carry this belief. Don't hide from it, just own it. Owning it stops it owning you. Then you need to trace it. So you need to first ask yourself, where did I first feel this? Like, was this coming from dad's silence? Was it coming from mum's pressure? Was it because I was picked last, because I was left on red? Or in my case, an example was that I didn't get picked up for the cricket match that I was supposed to be playing one Saturday morning by some people that were supposed to come pick me up and take me to the town over. What you need to know is that you didn't create this wound, but it is yours to heal. So it's not your responsibility that it came to you, but it's your responsibility to face it and deal with it. Then you need to think about, okay, step 3 is challenging it. So now we need to think about this. Is it true that I'm not good enough? Or is that just some kind of old loop that's, playing in the background? We need to catch the light in the moment, and then we call it out and we replace it with truth, even if we don't believe it yet. Because the believing in it will come from proving it to ourselves. We almost all have a confirmation bias. So if we have a story running in our minds that is telling us that we're not good enough, we're going to be looking for the things that are going to be proving that to ourselves. Then is a hard but crucial step, which is reparenting yourself. So this is where you need to actually say the words that you needed to hear at that time in your life. For example, it's, I see you, I'm proud of you, you matter. The idea here is you want to become the father that your inner boy still hopes will come. Now, the other side of this is to think about that you've actually gotten through all of your hardest days in your life. You've gotten through every challenge that life has thrown at you. So you are much more capable than you're giving yourself credit for. Then we need to feel what you never felt. So this might sound a bit airy-fairy, but it's one of the biggest beliefs that I have is journaling it, writing it, voice notes, whatever it might be. I'm a big believer in actually writing it out because there's a cathartic experience that comes from that. So this is where you journal it, you breathe through it, you scream it into a pillow, you hit a heavy bag. All it's about here is letting it out. So then you've got to understand that from this moment, you've been carrying this shame like an armor. But what's it actually done for you? All it's done is made you numb. You need to let your whole nervous system just fully and finally exhale. Just let it all go. And then you need to be keeping the promises to yourself. So this is where it's really important that the follow through comes through. This is where you start building your self-respect and the belief that you are the person that's capable, you are enough. So for example, you start training when you said you would. You finish the things that you start. These things, they start to rebuild our own trust in ourselves and our own self-belief, right? Every single act of integrity, it rewrites your identity. The next step is brotherhood. So healing alone it's fucking slow, right? You need people around you to hold you accountable. You need people around you that are going to set a standard for themselves and hold themselves accountable as well, so that you've got people you can mirror. Healing in connection is so fucking powerful. I cannot stress that enough. So the idea here is you need to find the men that actually back you. They reflect your worth back to you and not your weakness. So these aren't the people that are calling you out, that are at the pubs. These are the people that are healing and growing as well. Then you need to live like you're already whole, like you're already complete. So you don't need to wait until you actually feel like you're enough. You need to live it like it's actually true right now, because it is. You need to act from the man you're becoming, not from the boy that you were. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. You just need to meet yourself where you're at. And I promise that that man, underneath all of that noise, he's already enough. See you tomorrow, brothers.